All right, fingers crossed. Here we go. All right, hopefully that fixed the stream. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do a sound check, and then if it did, by the way, if you look at the YouTube bar, you can see where in the chapters the sound was good. But let's do it. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good, guys. Oh, it sounds good. Let's go. All right, so finally, after like 30 minutes of trying, welcome to the Strider episode. So Strider is probably the most awesome class in terms of just how prepared for the game it really is. The gimmick of the game is climbing on enemies, and guess what? It gets 66% more damage. It uses 66% of the other classes' stamina to climb, and it climbs twice as fast. So all that just adds up to it just being really, really good at climbing. It's also really, really good at mobility as well. It's got some of the best options to move around. I don't even have Leaping Stone, but you can see this is Mad Dash. You can jump right out of it if you want to. You can slide out of it, or you can hit the X button. That'll just take you to a quick halt. You also have Instant Reset, which all the dagger classes get, and you also get something else that's really cool. It's called Splitter. Now, if you jump with Splitter, as long as you don't actually jump, meaning hit the A button to jump, you will take 0 damage regardless of how far you fall. So you can just use Splitter as a I don't care, I'm jumping. And the only time you'll die is in certain like abysses in Bitter Black Island where yeah, if you hit the bottom of that abyss you just die anyway. But literally, if there's land below you to land on, or even water for the brine, you will be okay. So it lets you, like over here at the Everfall, it just lets you get straight to the bottom real, real fast. Um, and instant reset is nice. Right now, I'm in speedrunning configuration, which is why I have these three skills. Normally, I wouldn't have Mad Dash or Instant Reset on. I'd have something else. But honestly, the only skill you really need to do damage on your daggers, well, besides this one, is Kisses. There's a skill called Scarlet Kisses and also Thousand Kisses. Excuse me, 100 Kisses, which turns into 1,000 Kisses with the BBI ring. Those are the only other like required skills for good damage with a Strider. Once you have Skill Splitter and Kisses, you've pretty much figured it out. The other thing you want is these three skills: Fivefold Flurry, Mighty Bend, and Pentad Shot. Fivefold Flurry is more of a longer range damage skill. Pentad Shot is really, really strong in a close range. It's stronger than Fivefold. It has higher damage than Fivefold if all 5 shots hit. So that's the drawback, right? So your Pentad Shot, all 5 of your shots have to hit for it to outdamage Fivefold Flurry, assuming all 5 of those shots hit. If you're not in shotgun range, which is what I like to call it, then Fivefold's the better choice. But if you are in shotgun range, then Pentad does more damage. It's the better choice. And then your bends, those are good for hitting enemies at long range, knocking them back, knocking them down, hitting off cliffs. Really good for if you're doing Griffin's Bane and you're trying to save all the people. There's this one Griffin that will snatch up a dude. I think it's like Sir Wesley, and take him up to the top of a gate. Yeah, you can use Mighty Bend with Griffin Bane and some parry apps to knock him down. So that's why you want this skill here, just because it's good for extra knockdown. Cool. So we're going to take this from square one. You're going to start out not with stilettos. You're going to start out with a short bow and probably some throat cutters. Once you get to Gran Soren, you're going to be able to upgrade to your stilettos here. When you get stilettos, I highly recommend upgrading them to 3 stars. You're going to need 4 elongated claws for that. Yeah, 4. You can go check out Caxton's real quick, because that's where you're going to do that anyway. So while you're escorting the ox to Gran Soren, do your best to kill off all the harpies you can to grab their claws. That will make your life a lot easier in the long run. Um, we're going to keep the short bow for now, but we're going to upgrade it to 2-star, which we should have done at Reynard at the encampment, because it's where we would have bought it from him. Right before, off with his head, right before we bought the Hydra, right before we fought the Hydra, we should have done that. Alright? So that should have been your stage 1. Introduction to stage 2 is 2-starring the short bow over at the encampment, and then killing all the harpies you can while you're traveling with the ox cart in order to 3-star the throat cutters, and that'll give you enough firepower to get through the infamous bandits down here in Southwest Grancis. There's a along Manamia Trail. You go up this way towards Vastad Hills, and there's a boulder that rolls down at you. You'll just hide behind a tree so it doesn't kill you. But then when you get up here, the real problems exist, right? So now you have all these bandits and all these wolves. Sorry, spoiler alert, but you shouldn't be watching this if you if this is a spoiler to you, you probably don't want to be watching this. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you've been here and you're just like, how do I beat this part? Well, you need better equipment. It's just that simple. These 3-star stilettos will hold you down. They have way better strength rating than the throat cutters or anything else you're going to start the game with. So that's a good start. Short bow we're going to replace in due time, but you're going to keep it for now. It's not going to be quite as good as your daggers are. And again, just knowing what skills to use. In this case, Splitter is going to be your bay. Whenever you're going to deal with these guys, whenever you're dealing with small creatures on the ground, it's going to be Splitter. Whenever you're dealing with big creatures in the air, it's going to be Kisses. Or big creatures that you're climbing, it's going to be Kisses. Let me put it that way. And then never underestimate a Rondelay. It's just good. That kick does blunt damage, so if you're going up against any skeletons or anything, it's really, really good. So you may be confused thinking, well, daggers are sharp weapons. No, 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 no. Yes, daggers are sharp weapons, so you will do slash damage with them, but that does blunt damage, and it's a really, really good attack. My normal setup is for a combo, and you will want to combo with these, is slash, kick, 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 finish them off with the full heavy attack. You do that, you're winning. Most human enemies can't withstand that, and it costs you 0 stamina. Of course, you just use Splitter. So you have a choice when you use Splitter. Like I said, if you're on the ground and you use Splitter, then it just straight up, you can never take fall damage. But Strider has this amazing ability called Eminence that it gets at rank level 5. Take it as soon as you can, and then when you use your splitters and you jump and use it, you get an extra 30% damage. Alright? Just for free. Alright? So I highly recommend doing that. Go ahead and get your splitter with the Eminence, and then just jump before you use it. Whenever you attack an enemy, you'll do way more damage, and you'll probably be able to break through some of those fighters and warriors defensive layers, because they have pretty high defense over there in the Vastad Hills. Alright, so I've talked you through the hardest part of the game. Good. I haven't even talked about stage 1, stage 2. Normally I try to order these in terms of stages. So stage 2, we talk about picking up the the stilettos that I'm wearing here. You should also be picking up and wearing the set of Aldoan armor here, or if you're a female, the set of Clean's clothing. Both of these are very powerful armor sets. You will need 2 foreign knives in order to upgrade the set of Aldoan armor. Where you're going to get them is from this young lady here. Hopefully you escorted her to the encampment and then escorted her. Well, you don't have to escort her further, but she'll be waiting in here, and you can just buy the 4 knives off of her. They count as tools, and then as soon as you do that, you can go to Caxton over there again and upgrade this set to 2-star. It's going to be the strongest thing you can wear up until you've met the Duke. So after you meet the Duke, you get stronger options, but we're going to stay where we are right now, which is stage 2. We are getting to Gran Soren in stage 2, and we're also trying to get through Vestad Hills a little bit because we need to go talk to the witch over here. Speaking of talking to the witch, alright, so in my previous videos for Mystic Knight and for Magic Archer, I have made a typo or a misspeak of sorts. So here's the deal. I was saying that under the witch's hut is where you get the thunderclap. That is a lie. That is not true. It is inside the witch's hut that has the chest for the thunderclap, which is the mace that the staff that you need for basically any magic using vocation in order to guarantee that you knock down the griffin during stage 3. However, that chest that is under the witch's hut that is nestled there is still useful. You're going to use that to get yourself a direwolf bow, okay? That's where you're going to get a direwolf bow from. So that's why we didn't bother upgrading this again, because we're just going to get a better bow right afterwards. You can tell, even at 3 stars, this wouldn't be better than this at 0 stars. So we're going to go ahead and take it. And then, by the way, this is probably one of the easiest things in the world to upgrade, because it uses 5 small fangs. So you go to the direwolf bow, you get these small fangs from wolves. You had to slaughter a ton of wolves just to get to Gran Soren, and then again to get to the Witchwood. 2,000 gold is nothing. Go ahead and upgrade it. Now you've got, and now you've basically, if you look at the rates from this to this, you've almost doubled your power from short bow to direwolf bow. So big change on for us. So now you can start probably using your bow to take down those bandits a little bit more safely, even though it's still going to be faster by just using Skull Splitter or Skull Splitter. Yeah, so your daggers are going to be your main damage dealers as a strider. If you want to deal damage with your bow, you should have picked a ranger. I'm not faulting you for that. I'm just telling you that's the bow damage vocation. This is the dagger damage vocation. It does the most damage with its daggers. You can do damage with bow. You can do good damage with your bow, but it's just not going to be your preferred way to do things, at least not in the early game. Later on, when you get a lot of blast arrows and you can use cloud burst volley and stuff like that, sure. But right now, it's all about the daggers, baby. Your bow is more of a, hey, I can't reach that. Alright, so what's our next weapon? It's going to be, so if you're following my quest guide, all these different things are going to be in the description as far as chest locations, wiki pages with the chest locations that I'm referencing, as well as my own personal notes, my guide per se that I use to lead you in the right direction to make sure you get the hero achievement and don't miss any quests, and you get all the different optional escort quests, so you get all the anode weapon, golden weapons, and whatnot. Yeah, that's going to be in the description of this video. So you look below the video, open up the description, you'll be able to see all that. And while you're down there, leave a like, subscribe. It helps me out, helps the channel out. We get to 1,000, we start getting paid for this, you know. All right, enough of the plug. Your next weapon, you go to the Catacombs. If you're following my guide, that should be the next place you head for seeking salvation. Inside the Catacombs, you're going to find the Scalding Razors. They're going to be in an area near some ogres, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, these are going to be your kind of your ghost killing weapons, and I'm going to explain why it's kind of tough. So look at your range. If you know anything about ghosts in this game, it's that they are really, really sticky, which means they start trying to grab you really, really fast. And they're really, really tough to deal with when they're doing that. Now, my memory's kind of fuzzy, but I remember Splitter being a good option for dealing with them when they're trying to do that. But I'm not 100% sure. If not, then probably your furthest hitting option is this, because your that's just going to get you possessed. Uh, and I kind of write it from the viewpoint of you're soloing, because if you're not soloing, then sure you can just have somebody enchant you with holy, but if you are soloing, you're screwed if you get possessed. So all that said, unfortunately, your next tier up daggers are the galvanic razors, and phantasms, the electric ghosts, are completely immune to that. And then your next tier after that are the kunai, which are dark daggers. And guess what? Ghosts take 50% damage from that, which means you won't be able to break their magical defense. So the way to get through ghosts is to 3-star these. All right, because they are the weakest. They are the weakest version of the uh, the magical daggers that you can get. Now look at this. These weapons deal 243 magic damage when 3-starred, right? All right. Now let's do some math. Almost every dagger attack does 87.5% scaling. So 8.875 times 243. That's 212.625. So 212.6 damage outgoing, right? However, phantasms have a magical defense of 200 and an HP stat of 1000 roughly. So you'd have to do 12 damage at a time, and every time you hit them, they disperse, they pop, and then they reform. So you'd have to do what's 1000 divided by 12.6? You'd have to hit them 94.3 times, so 95 times, in order to finally kill them, unless you have buffs, right? So if you have not clout, but the other step up. What's the next step up? It's not clout. It's the other one. Acuity from sorcerer, which you probably won't have if you're strictly playing Strider, or if you have bloodlust and autonomy from assassin. You'll be able to deal a ton of damage. Well, not a ton of damage, but much more damage, because then you get the extra 20%. But most important thing you can do is pop periaps. If you're popping demons periaps, then you're going to damage double that output from 243 to like 500 almost, because it's like times 2.08, so almost 500 it looks like. And then it would be 500 minus 200, which would be 300 damage per hit, which would be a lot, almost a third of their life. And then you add on those augments after that, and then you start talking real damage, like maybe 3-hit kills. But that's soloing. Uh, if you if you're smart, then you just don't try to take on ghosts as a strider. I'm gonna keep it real with you until you get not divine razors, heaven's keys. Don't bother. Not as a solo strider. Once you have Heaven's Keys, which have the Holy Element, which allows you to do way more damage because of the multiplier that the elements give you, and I don't want to get into a multiplication argument. And matter of fact, I'm going to show you all this later. I do need to go get one more Necrophagous Thorn, but I will show you what I mean by, hey, if you're soloing this, this sucks. But we're going to get Scalding Razors anyway because they're really strong against zombies. And if you are in a party, which most players I feel like will play in a party, uh, if you are in a party, they will help you dramatically when you're fighting ghosts. You'll probably opt to use your bow anyway, but your razors would be stronger than your bow as long as you can hit. All right. I spent what 7 minutes on just scalding razors. All right, and then last thing you need to do. So remember, I told you before to kill as many harpies as you can, right? to pick up as much stuff as you can. So first time you picked up 4 elongated claws in order to upgrade your stilettos, but hopefully you can go back through a few times. And you should. There's nothing stopping you from doing this. So just go back through Moonspit Pass a few times to kill some harpies. Pick up what's called harpy rectrices, not from snow harpies, from regular harpies. They're rare drops. Um, but if you just kind of save scum the area, you should be able to pick them up in 1 or 2 passes. And what that's going to allow you to do, you need 7 of them. What that's going to allow you to do is to 2-star a special weapon. All right. You need to do that before you finish. Before you go back to Sir Maximilian over here. He's the one that you got the Wyrm Hunt license and all that other stuff. All those quests. Yeah, don't turn any of those quests into him until you have those 7 harpy retrixes. Okay. That as long as you remember to do that, you'll be fine. Once you do have the harpy retrixes, you can turn the quests into him, and that'll start you off on stage 3. And then you also need to make sure you have a certain amount of money before you start stage 3. So also, before you turn in those quests, you need to go to the Black Cat. You need to have quite a bit of money. Mad Dash, just faster. I have the tools and I refuse to use them. All right, that's one of our buddies. Actually, we're going to talk about him in a second too. But we need to go to this guy, and we need to make sure we have enough money to purchase this bad boy. So it's actually one of the cheapest things he sells. For 100,000 gold, you can buy a Griffin Bane, and we want it. We want this bad because we need to kill a Griffin. And once you buy that Griffin Bane, you're going to use those 7 Harpy Retrixes that we bought, that we found, in order to upgrade it to 2-star. That's going to allow you to slaughter the stage 3 Harpy, as well as any other snow Harpies you come across. So the Griffin, the stage 3 Griffin, any snow Harpies, which they are pretty beefy at this point in the game, and there's a whole bunch of other flying bosses later on in the game. You'll have quite a few flying bosses, so just keep it on you at all times. Anytime something's flying and it's not a dragon, you can shoot it down with that. Well, it's not a dragon or a ghost. Ghosts fly too, but it's mostly dragons and ghosts. Here's our other guy that we want to buy stuff from, and you're going to want to buy, go to tools, Conqueror's Periaps. You're going to want to buy 4 of them bad boys. It's going to run you a little bit of money, but it's okay. And before you start shooting at that Griffin for stage 3, just pop all 4 of them at the same time, and you should be able to kill the Griffin well within the time limit, because honestly the Griffin runs away if you don't. So yeah. And the reason you want to kill that Griffin so badly is because if you do not kill it, then no other Griffin spawn in the world, except for the main quest Griffin that you have to hunt down. Either kill him over here or kill him over at Bluemoon, but that'll slow down your questing a lot, and it'll also restrict the amount of materials you can get, the amount of experience you can get. It just makes your life harder. So make sure you go ahead and take out that Griffin at the beginning of stage 3. And now that we're in stage 3 and we've talked about Griffin Bane, we're also going to talk about another weapon. Let's go right back to the Black Cat, because he's going to have it too. So you may or may not have the money for this at this point. If you don't, then just buy it when you can. So before starting the War God's Altar, when you're in my guide, you should also want to purchase Saurian Bane, which is twice the amount of money, by the way. So it's a set of daggers that deal double damage to Saurians. They're also quite weak, and you'll want to you should have enough fisheye stones to 2-star them already. And honestly, 3-starring those things is pretty much a side quest. It's like 30 Saurian tails, 20 Saurian tails, or something like that. So you're not going to 3-star them to start with. You're going to 2-star them, and then once you 2-star them, you'll be able to use them later on, much later on in the game. And I'm talking about after you've beaten the dragon for some really tough enemies. Saurian sages and such. They're pretty beefy, and being able to just straight up slice their tails off and kill them immediately is really nice, especially when you're trying to use a different bow. Um, all right. So we've talked about Saurian Bane. Next, we're going to talk about Signs of Valor. By the way, if you want to look at the Saurian Bane, this is what Saurian Bane looks like, and this is what the Griffin Bane looks like. So both of the Banes on. So Griffin Bane is good against any flying enemy besides ghosts and basically if it has feathers, Griffin Bane works. And even some things that don't have feathers, like gargoyles. If it looks like a harpy or if it looks like a Griffin Bane is what you should use. All right. If it looks like a harpy or a griffin, and that includes things that are kind of just scaly harpies. If you're playing Bitter Black Allen, you're pretty far towards the end of the game. That would include your Strigoi and your gargoyles of all types. While Saurian Bane kills anything that looks like Saurian. If it's a lizard, it'll kill it. Except if it's a lizard and it's not a dragon. Let's be very clear there. If it's a dragon, then no dice. But if it's a regular lizard, it'll kill it. Alright. By the way, I wonder if somebody can test if Saurian Bane does double damage to snakes. That'd be funny to me. Even though snakes always die in one hit, that'd be funny. Alright, what's the next weapon? Hunter's Bow. No, Signs of Valor. But we were getting both. So, Signs of Valor and Hunter's Bow. So, Signs of Valor is a fairly famous dagger. It's also a complete unique dagger. Where you go is over here to the very tip of the spear on the figurine. That is the Epimonius figurine of the hill figure Null. Go to the tip of it. There's going to be a gather spot. You gather at that spot and you'll get the Signs of Valor. Really strong daggers. And at that point, you 2-star them with some pretty easy to get drops from hobgoblins, the slate covered horns there. And then the Hunter's Bow. I think Hunter's Bow. Where do we get Hunter's Bow again? I think Hunter's Bow was at the Ruins of Heaven's Peak, right? That's the only place that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, my memory's good. So Hunter's Bow is at the Ruins of Heaven's Peak Tower. So you need to be dressed as a female, by the way. Just letting you know. And there needs to be no males in your party. So, crap. All right, we're taking another trip to the Black Cat. I should just stay there, honestly. Oh, I hit that kind of early. Good thing nobody was there, or I would have gotten arrested.
Right.
Not you. You.
So, well, I'm sure you'll find all you need.
We're still in stage 3, right? So we wouldn't have gotten one for free yet. So under torso here, you'll see sometimes you could buy sets, right? So you have a choice. You can buy this for 6,000 gold, or you could buy this for 277,000 gold. Now, if you bought Griffin Bane earlier, you probably don't have this money, so you're probably just gonna buy this. If you put that on, and any other male pawns you have, the ladies, the fine ladies over at the tower won't attack you. Now, all the ladies leading up to the fort, they'll still attack you. So you might as well just wait until you get up to the tower to put that on, by the way. And you'll know because you have to kind of go around to get up to the tower. But up until you get to that tower, you can keep your regular armor on because obviously this has almost no defenses compared to what are we wearing right now.
I'm sure you'll find any.
Compared to us two. was it like 61, 65 or something like that? Compare it to this, which is like 175, 49. Like the magic defense was better, but that defense is pathetic. And the thing about magic is, except for a few very, very fast casting enemies who are usually bosses, you shouldn't be getting hit by magic. You should just be moving out of the way. So your defense is literally the most important thing that you're going to be dealing with 9 times out of 10. Um, so do buy that set of ladies garb if you want to stay a male. You can also switch your gender to female using the art of metamorphosis or the secret of metamorphosis. I recommend just staying a male and cross dressing for a couple minutes, because all you need to do is talk to homegirl here at the fort while you're wearing a dress, and all the rest of your party members are hopefully females or also cross dressing. It's up to you, however you want to live your life. Um, and then she'll tell you to go either kill a whole bunch of male bandits down here. I think actually any male bandits you kill count towards this. So you can go to like the Beast Cave. You can go up here as well. Past Hillfigure Knoll, there's going to be some bandits. Down here, there's a ton of bandits. If you want to warp, in the Wilter Force, this entire place is covered in bandits. Grancis has a crime problem. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Grancis has a crime infestation problem. What she really means is she wants you to kill bandits over here who belong to the Iron Hammer, but realistically, all the bandits work. All the male bandits work. So you don't need to go all the way down there, warp all the way down there, or oh, God, you don't need to run down there for real, for real. Hopefully, if you're going to go down there, you have a warp point. But yeah. So that's one of your options. You can get that from Ophis herself, or if you go down the ladder of the fort on the other side, you'll find another woman with a green check mark over her head, or green question mark. She'll give you a different version of the quest, which is to go feed homegirl's ogre, or yeah, her ogre, or her cyclops over here in her domain. So you go to Ophis domain after getting that quest. You pick up a goblin and you throw it at the Cyclops, and the Cyclops eats it, and the Cyclops is happy, and then you've completed that quest, and then you come back and you talk to her, and then I think she sends you to talk to Ophis. Ophis gives you her badge. As long as that badge is in your inventory, you no longer need to cross dress at all in order to pass through that fort without being attacked. Because if you're not cross dressed, I forgot to even tell you what the consequences was, because there's going to be consequences. If you're not cross dressed, you will be attacked your first time up here, and that'll just ruin that entire quest from you, and you will never have a chance to get that badge of amity, which will cut you out of a whole lot of stuff. So make sure you are cross-dressed when you get to this fort. But up until like around here, you're good to wear your regular armor. And then while we're talking about it, at the very, very tippy top of this fort, there's going to be a fancy chest, and that's the Hunter's Bow. Now, the Hunter's Bow is not a guaranteed drop by any means, but it is a drop, so you can save scum it. And once you save scum it, 3-star with Freakish Mane, which you should get from a. You can save scum. You can also save scum chimeras for Freakish Manes. So there's quite a few near you. There's one chimera right here going west. It's going to be like in this general area. So you should have ran into it already. Hopefully when you killed it, you got a Freakish Mane. There's one chimera right here in the Curse Wood. And then there's another chimera down here. If you kill all three of them and get one Freakish Mane from each of them, then you've completed this version of the quest. However, sometimes you get more than one main per animal. Sometimes you get 0, and if you get 0, just reset and start all the way over, because you don't want to deal with any situation where you get 0 Freakish Manes. So make sure you're always getting a Freakish Mane so that you can 3-star your Hunter's Bow. Alright. Now, here's the thing though. You don't necessarily have to 3-star your Hunter's Bow. And this is why. Now, very, very soon, you are going to be getting the best bow in the game up until you fight the dragon. So if you're stuck on one hunter's main, one freakish main, and you're like, wow, I really don't want to run around fighting all these other chimeras, don't, because you're going to get another bow pretty soon. All right, so this is the start of Act 4. All right. So at the start of Act 4, there's another badge of amity we need to talk about. It's Maul's badge of amity. So Maul's badge of amity is gotten in 2 different ways. He's going to tell you how to do it. Unlike him, you don't have to go to 2 different NPCs to get the 2 different versions of the quest. He's going to tell you the 2 different ways to do it. So you can either A, kill 20 female bandits, which there's only one spot to do that, and that's on the way to Ophus's domain. So you can kill bandits all up here in the Cursewood. As long as you haven't already gotten her badge of amity, they'll respawn there. If you have gotten her badge of amity, then there'll only be wolves there if you're carrying it on you. So you can either kill female bandits, or B, you can go to Cockatrice and you could talk somebody into returning to. Alright, so let me go back a little bit. Early game in Cockatrice, you had the chance to catch a thief. If you did that, then he's like just hanging out in the town. I don't know, they just took a liking to him. You go back and you talk to him, and you I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Yeah, you go back and you talk to him, and he'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to return. They're gonna kill me." And to be fair, Maul did basically say, "Hey, return to us so we can kill him." But yeah, convince him to go back and face his death, and then he'll go back and he won't be killed. Spoiler alert. But yeah. That's the nice way to do it. The other way is to get your blades dirty and go ahead and cut up some female bandits over here. So pick your poison. If you did miss the quest in Cockatrice, then you have to do it the bloody way. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, by doing that, you get the Maul's badge of amity, and once you've met the Duke, which is stage 4, that's how it starts. Once you've met the Duke, you are able to go over here to Arsmith's Alehouse and take a notice board. That notice board is going to ask you for. See, this notice board always asks for items, right? It just asks you to find some item. Find this item for me. It's going to ask you to find Maul's badge of amity. So what you should do is you should run down there to the Black Cat. I'm not going to do it again. Go into that menu I accidentally went to last time, which was the Scrivener, the forgery menu, and forge that item. Once you forge it, then you could turn in the copy of that forgery into Arsmith's Alehouse, and that will give you the golden bardishes. Alright. Now, the golden bardishes aren't going to make you stronger, which is against the whole concept of this video, right? You're not going to get stronger from having these right now. They will make you stronger later on in the game, but they're not going to make you stronger right now. But you're not going to 3-star them either. Why you want them right now is so A, so that you don't forget them, and B, so that you can Dragon Forge them later when you actually fight the real dragon, okay? So when you actually fight the dragon, you want to be wearing these towards the end of that fight, so that when you get the killing blow, you get an effect called a Dragon Forge. And the Dragon Forge is this, instead of, you see how you have these stars? Alright, so let's say this is +2, this is +3. Dragon Forge is like plus, it's effectively +4, but in real terms it's like a +5 or 6. It's like so much stronger than having a 3-star. It's insane. So why you want to be wearing these at the very end of the real dragon fight, the final battle is the name of that mission, is so that they get Dragon Forged automatically no matter how low, because normally you have to have them upgrade a little bit in order to Dragon Forge them. But for the main dragon of the storyline, whatever weapons you're wearing, whatever armor you're wearing at the end of that fight, automatically gets Dragon Forged. And when these golden barshes get Dragon Forged, they become very, very good, especially with Skull Splitter, at instantly silencing a spellcaster. And there's a spellcaster we want to instantly silence. Especially in Bitter Black Island, especially in some places in the Everfall, especially in Water God's Altar, in post game. there's a specific type of enemy where these daggers come very clutch, and then even another one in Bitter Black Island as well. But I don't want to spoil the enemies towards the end game. But this is, you want this weapon, so go ahead and get this. It's not going to do you any good at this point in the game. It's going to do you a ton of good to get it and have it for later on in the game. So that's why we're grabbing it right now. All right. And don't upgrade it because it's just a waste of money. We're going to Dragon Forge it for free later. All right, so hopefully you've done the quest in stage 2. And I never remember to say this, but in stage 2 you need to be doing the quest for Simone in order to get the golden idol, the real one, from her. You need to do it perfectly. I think I've uploaded a video on how to do that. I have uploaded a video on how to do that. Maybe I should post it in the I will post it in the description. I will add that in the description, how to get the real gold idol. Okay. But once you've done that, and you have the gold idol, you need to, after you've met the Duke, you can turn that gold idol into Caxton. He's going to have a quest bubble above his head. Go ahead and give him the gold idol, the real one, not the forgery, because you can follow my guide to also get the forgery. The forgery is good to have because almost every shop's going to give you a 30% discount for having the forgery. This is just the same as having the real one, except if you turn in the forgery as a quest item, then the forgery won't give you any new equipment, any new weapons or armor or anything, and that's why the real one is important as well. So when you turn in the real golden idol to Caxton, it'll take him a couple days to update his inventory. About 3 days of resting should do it. But once you're done, you'll be able to buy the strongest bone in the game up until you fight the dragon, which is the Pleached Limbs. So remember when I told you you don't have to worry about really updating your hunter's bow to 3 stars because you're just going to get Pleached Limbs right afterwards? Look at that. 3 star, 165. 0 stars, 148. So we just need to beat 165, right? Five spiny nut, we're already there. This one I'm gonna have to, that's gonna be hard to do. You can do it. I'll explain how to do it later. But with this one, you just need to get some spiny nuts. Spiny nuts can be found here in the Wilted Forest. So the wiki says, and I'm pretty sure I've done it personally, but I can't remember doing it because it's been so long, that falling logs along this area are the best way to farm them. So you just need to find 5 of them and upgrade that. So at 2 star, it's already beating the hunter's bow. And then at 3 star, which you'll get later, it's going to be way out of its league. And you start at the point where every little bit of power counts. So you'll definitely want that. Alright. Let's see. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to go to our homegirl over here. Hopefully we've turned in the silver idol to her. Oh, she's gone now. Oh, nope, there she is. Hey, who told you could leave? So you go to her, you turn in her the silver idol, because she's also going to ask for idol. You'll have to go get it from a quest called, not Put the Eye Out. Oh, it is Put the Eye Out, ain't it? Yeah, it's Put the Eye Out, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you go to Cockatrice's notice board during right after meeting the Duke, and you've done all these other things that you do right after meeting the Duke. As long as you've met the Duke, it'll be on the notice board in Cockatrice to say, hey, there's a challenger in the proving grounds. You accept that mission, and then you go to the proving grounds. It'll tell you where it's at, but pretty much the proving grounds are through a hidden hole in the Shadow Fort area, right in front of the big building, but over to the right a little bit. You'll be able to drop into that hole no matter how tall you are. That's how you know it's the right hole. You go through to the Frontier Caverns and you'll fight a boss there. Once you beat him, you'll get the silver idol. So what I recommend is turning both the gold idol and the silver idol almost at the same time. But if you turn in any idol that's a real idol to Madeline, she will give she will give you, not give you, her inventory will also update after 3 days, just like Caxton's does, and she'll be able to sell you one of the most important pieces of equipment that you can get, which is the barbed nails. Now, don't be surprised by the defenses. What you care about is it saying that it bolt knocks back foes more often, and that is so crucial to you. And her inventory updates every, not updates, refreshes every 7 days. So sometime before the end of the game, you're going to go ahead and buy yourself a second set of those because more knockback is even better. I'm gonna keep it with you. Besides BBI rings, you almost always wear these. Like these are the most important piece of equipment you can get in the game. Like Ogre Bone to a certain extent, yeah, depending on what you're doing, but we're not charging up big attacks as a strider, so we just want barb nails in order to knock things down, especially with our kicks. All right, so we're still in stage 4. Yeah, we also have the ability because we have this hunter bow. Now remember we were talking about slash damage versus blunt damage and what that is. So let's go back to that discussion for a second. Now bow, your arrows are actually blunt damage. All right, they're not slash damage, so they're super effective against skeletons. Now that means that if you go over here at nighttime, all right, and you run through. Do I want to try it this time? It's not nighttime right now though. All right, let's. You know what? You know what? Should we just take a break and go do some adventuring? I think we should do some adventuring, guys. Um, we'll do it. We'll do it on the transition into Act 5, actually. All right. So basically, you'll be able to use this bow in order to cleanly defeat 2 skeleton knights that are over here because the bow deals blunt damage. So just use the bow and you'll be good to go. Hey, that rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But they only appear at night, so you just have to go ahead and search around for them a little bit. Hopefully I get a chance to demonstrate that later. All right. Anyway, what you want to do is you want to save scum those 2 guys for 2 lordly emblems. Those 2 lordly emblems will allow you to upgrade this set here to 3 stars, the set that we're wearing, because we haven't upgraded our set since stage 2, right? So that'll be our first upgrade at all. Now, our next weapon that we're going to wear is going to be the Crimson Teeth. And this one, unlike the Golden Bardishes, is going to get used. You can 3-star them with 3 Freakish Claws if you have those on you. Probably while you were picking up Freakish Mange, you might have got some. But otherwise, yeah, these weapons are actually really bad at upgrading. When you compare their upgrade path to... This is probably the most relevant class to show it on, so I'm going to show it to you. So, let's look at these. Crimson Teeth start out as the strongest basic weapons, right? So 160. And let's compare the actual strongest weapons. Divine Razors, 143, right? All right. But look at this. Crimson Teeth, plus 3, 195. Divine Razors, plus 3, 221. Not even close. So that's what I mean. Like, Crimson Teeth, yeah, you can upgrade them, but they're kind of trash at upgrading. And even when you compare them to another dagger that starts weaker than them, the Signs of Valor, you can't see. Alright, remember that Crimson Teeth for 195? Oh, you can't see the difference between them. Because these are already Dragon Force, so they're already way out of here. Yeah. Basically, also Signs of Valor passed them as well. So even though Crimson Teeth start strong, they give up that lead very quickly. However, 3-starring them is not a big problem. You can go ahead and 3-star them. You still get more damage. It's just not as much damage as Divine Razors, which you haven't gotten yet. So go ahead and get these up to 3 stars. And that'll only cost you 3 Freakish Claws. And then last thing we're going to try to get, not last thing we're going to try to get, one of the last things we're going to try to get are the Gloves of Might. So the Gloves of Might are going to be a byproduct of a quest that we're going to take from Castradus. Again, it's going to ask you to slay a griffin. You just accept that quest, and guess what? One of your main quests in the story is going to be to slay a griffin. And as soon as you complete that main quest, you will get a free pair of gloves that give you another 50% bonus to your climbing speed. And since you want to be climbing all the time as a strider anyway, that's amazing. So now you climb 300 times faster, well, 300% faster than normal. I don't even know what that stacks. It might not stack It might be 150% faster. I don't know if it stacks multiplicatively. So it might be two and a half times faster instead of 3 times faster. Either way, you're going to be climbing fast. Uh, you can 2-star those with 3 Firefly stones, which you get from mining around anywhere. They're pretty common stones. All right, and then finally, we can talk about upgrading our armor set from this blandness to actually look kind of like a strider, right? So how do we look like a strider? All right. So the first thing we're going to get in the Bluemoon Tower, which is where we're going to fight the Griffin, right? We're going to go to Blue Moon and we're going to fight this Griffin. You'll be able to find several of your items that you want. You're going to be able to find these iron bandings. It's in chest number 2. You can 2-star those with 6 hunk of ores, which are just your regular goblin drops. You're going to be able to find the Lion Lord's helmet, which you could 3-star with more Chimera drops, as well as the Rex Lion padding, which you can also 3-star with some Chimera drops. Now, going along with that, we're also going to have the assembled sleeves and the assembled breeches. All right, and that comes together and makes a pretty decent looking set. And it also all you can get them all at the same time. They're all pretty relevant and they're all pretty much around the same power level. They all look the same, right? So this is what I call the assembled line set. If you want to call it something else, you can feel free because it's not an official set, but it looks really, really good and it looks like it looks official. And now you are officially a strider in appearance. And what else can we add? By the way, the assembled set gets the 3 stars with direwolf pelts and rugged bones, which you drop from cyclopses. Last thing we can add, we can go to the assembled set you buy from Jason Matias. By the way, I think I already said that. But last thing we're going to buy is from Matias. We're going to buy the Brigandine Jerkin. It's going to cover us up just a little bit more. And look, I look like a penny that's covered in like a tarnish. You remember how pennies used to get all green and yeah, nasty? That's what I look like right now, just a green penny. All right. So that's going to be our first like real set, right?
How come the master works all? You can't go wrong.
I think I do want to upgrade some stuff here. So here I'm going to I'll talk about upgrading that later. Go ahead and do these two.
The master work coming.
We're going to take a trip. We're going to do some demonstration because I want to demonstrate this ghost thing I was talking about earlier. And I think I might have talked about the math, but math is boring. I just want to show you guys what it looks like in real life. I'm a math nerd. I love math, but I understand. Is it faster just to run from... I think it is legit just faster to run from Barter Crags. By the way, I'm gonna show you where Matthias is. Alright, here we are at the Greatwall encampment. Hopefully when you did Ophis' quest, you set down a port crystal over here. You don't have to set it down right there, but it's a good place to set down your port crystal somewhere over here in the safe area. Matthias is our vendor that's going to sell us our good stuff here. He's going to sell us that, what did he sell us again? The Breeding Jerkin as well as the assembled pieces, the assembled set. He's probably the best actual vendor in Grancis beside, like him and Caxton butt heads. Caxton sells better weapons, but he sells better armor. And he sells better armor at lower levels. Alright, so we're going to do what I was talking about earlier, which is get a Necrophagous Loin. And also, I'm going to redeem myself from failing so miserably during the warrior video at jumping across this. Hopefully I make it. Actually, I might not be able to make it now that I think about it. What's my... Ooh, this might be rough. Made it even at average. Yeah, it's just unfair if you're a warrior or a fighter. Life is just unfair. I'm sorry, guys. It's just unfair. The fact that I could do that, I couldn't do it at ultralight because I was ultralight as a warrior because I had a leg strength. But I can do it as an average strider. It's just bananas. All right, so we talked earlier. So this is where that guy's gonna spawn, by the way, that skeleton. So we talked earlier about Skull Splitter. Oh, never mind. It's not gonna matter here. All right, where is the catacomb entrance? Just go straight. Okay. So the reason why Mad Dash is so good is because it isn't affected by your weight at all. Using this skill costs you more stamina based on your weight, but the actual execution isn't affected by your weight. Behind here, huh? Gimme. Some shrooms. Everybody needs some shrooms. Let's just restore my stamina. Oh, I'm passing up mad shrooms. Hella shrooms. All right. Do I have a... I guess the answer is no. I do not. Ooh, four knife. So here's a place where you could just find a random four knife laying on the ground. Guess you need to upgrade something. Hunter's bow. I know I was going to use that, but let's use level 1 spotting razors. Let's see how that works in here. So my goal here is to get one Necrophagous Loin from a stout undead. Oh, You're a regular undead. So skill splitter. Cannot be overstated how good that is. There's a stout undead. Oh yeah. Yeah, and it just comes down to, yeah. Why are you still alive? So you're not +0, they're pretty strong. Oh. Clutch. Clutch. Alright. Now we have Necrophagous Loin. We can go back to... I think Gran Soren's the best place to do this. We'll go back to Gran Soren. So you're getting pretty close to nighttime. Where's the sun at? One thing I like about this game is that you can always tell what time it is based on the sun orientation. Yeah, it's about to be nighttime pretty soon.
The masterworks all.
3-star them. Alright, let's check out my augments real quick. What are we working with? So I have autonomy, bloodlust after. Alright. So I do have extra magic coming from this and this. So I might actually be doing more than advertised. Like, that should be 20% plus 20% should be like 44%, I think.
Have your pick. Any you like. What will it be today?
So I should have 44% extra magic output. I'm gonna do more than, I'm gonna do about like 100 and something per hit to these guys. It looks like without parry apps. With parry apps, I'm gonna smoke them. I think like 2 hit them. We'll see. Where's it at? I'm terrible at menuing. I'm not a speedrunner at all.
What will it be? Have your come again?
Should I just bring a
Have your pick. What will it be today?
maybe just in case I'll bring a light tome. Just in case. Never know when you want to need one of these.
Have your pick. Come again.
Never know. Alright, so it's not nighttime yet, so I'm not going to get the extra 20% from Bloodlust. So I'm only going to get 20% from Autonomy, which is me being alone. It's not dark enough for me to get Bloodlust. Oh, wait, I need more. 4 momentum. There we go. There we go. So here are our phantasms. Let's test some stuff out. Skull splitter. Alright, I almost got grabbed. Don't want to get grabbed. Alright, so I got a 2-hit on him. Like, I hit him twice, and I still didn't do half his health. Right? So that's with me using 3-star daggers. Imagine how, like, I can't see around myself. Like, imagine how tough this could be. Like, it's possible. Would you advise it? No. Wow. If you wanted to grab me, you would have. Stupid thing. Oh, okay. That was close. You almost grabbed me. Dodge. Weave. Alright. Skull Splitter appears pretty competent against these guys. Didn't let me down any one time. Alright, I'm mad. Alright, got more of these guys. Alright, this time I'm going to pop parry apps, and I'm going to show you the difference. So, remember, this is going to multiply my raw output by 2.08, which means every single hit should be doing way, way more than last time. If I can get close to the enemy, you know what I mean? Oh, I screwed that up already. Alright. I'm already possessed. That sucks. I don't suppose using a Surgeon Light Tome is going to help, huh? Nope. Doesn't count. What if I were to throw... This is an explosive. Dang. Oh, maybe this will work. Okay, jump into the water worked. Did the ghost drown itself? That's funny. I'm kind of confused. I want to redo that real quick. Reason is because I don't know if the other ghost possessing me increased the damage of my what you call it, of my skull splitters there. Let's try it again without screwing it up. At the last possible second. Actually, saving was a good idea if I had the ability to, and I don't anymore. Darn. Yeah, instantly shred them. So the most important thing you could do is, yeah, 3-star him for that damage, but also parry apps will allow you to, even with the only the Scalding Razors, you can solo these guys. I think that's a good enough demonstration. And I don't think I have, it's not nighttime, is it? Let me double check. Going to Gran Soren is good enough to double check on that. Alright, so we're going to be transitioning to stage 5 here. So, yeah, it's not nighttime. So one more time with Matthias, we're going to get something from him, and it's going to be our cloak. It's going to be the Harpy Cloak. Yeah, that's the good stuff. You're going to 3-star that with 8 Harpy Pinions, which again, we're going to go back to like the one area in the game. Well, I guess there's 2 areas in the game with Harpies. This area in general has Harpies, like regular Harpies, and then over here, down here in Moonsbit Bass has Harpies. But Harpy Pinions are a common drop, so when you got the 7 Retrixes, you should have gotten like 20 Pinions, so you should already be able to 3-star this. And then the 3-star, the Pleached Limbs, which we already did, right? Pleached Limbs is already 3-starred, right? We 2-starred earlier with a different item, but this time we're going to 3-star it with the 2 Slick Black Pants. You're going to get those from a boss. It's going to be pretty obvious what it is. It's a big black bird-like thing. You're going to get that from that boss, and hopefully you kill it with Griffinbane, which will make it a lot easier to kill. And you get 2 Slick Black Pinions, or you get 1 at least, and then you go to the Black Cat, right? You go to that Scrivener over there, and you duplicate it. But honestly, just get the lucky drops. And then yeah, you only need 2 Slick Black Pinions in order to 3-star Pleached Limbs, and that'll be it for stage 5. That's literally all you had to do. Is get this cloak and upgrade your bow. Now, our final thing that we're going to get during this entire run comes in stage 6, right? So in stage 6, we're going to pick up my favorite weapon, the Divine Razors. One of my favorite weapons. Divine Razors, they are the lightest and the strongest daggers that you can get. So how do you get them? Okay, so at the end of Poor Malin's questline, she's going to leave her daggers on a bag in her actual shop over here. You need to have actually opened up her shop in order to get it. Right now it's an abandoned house, but if you do Mason's first quest, he'll task you with following a knight through the darkness, and once you get to where that knight is going, that'll open up Malin's shop. And then towards the end of the game, after you do some other stuff, Madeline will you complete Mercedes' final mission and she goes away. Madeline will also leave her shop, but when she leaves her shop, she'll leave her daggers there. Pick them up, and then you'll have to go find her. But while you're finding her, she'll ask you for her daggers back, and you will say, "Too bad, so sad, finders keepers, losers weepers," and you will have these beautiful divine razors that I'm wearing. Don't worry, there's no real implications for keeping her daggers. She'll also ask you for some money. Basically, giving her her daggers back or giving her the money, all that serves to do is raise her affinity towards you. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. There's no reason to. There's zero reason. Okay, listen to me. There is zero reason to have Madeline as your beloved unless you're that sentimental about her. In which case, you are very, very attracted to toxic traits, and I suggest you go seek some type of help for that, because you should not be attracted to Madeline's toxicity, alright? Just do yourself a favor. Don't do it, brother. You must stay focused, alright? You must stay focused. Fornival is all you need. All right, look at all that thickness. That's all you need. I don't have enough priceless artifacts. Of course I don't. All right. But yeah, obviously this is powerful. Um, and it's also hyper light. That's the main selling point of these. So the other two really strong daggers in the early game are the Signs of Valor, which is stupidly heavy, and the Crimson Teeth, which are they upgrade very badly. But unlike either of these two, the Divine Razors are very light and also they upgrade very well, better than either of the other two. Their drawback is that they start out very weak, but once you upgrade them, they get very strong. And their other drawback is that number two, they're very hard to upgrade. You need to get two priceless artifacts, which are actually extremely hard to come by. In order to get the two priceless artifacts, you need to go to the Water God's altar, and you need to do a an exploit or get insanely lucky. But I recommend doing the exploit in order to save yourself some sanity. You need to go to the Water God's altar, and you need to do an exploit on the mining points in there. So here's how the mining points work. You can mine them until they're just about empty, but not completely empty. So let's say you hit one point, and that point will give you ore 5 times. Now you can't save scum that. So if I let's say I mine the ore and I go for it, and it's going to give me silver ore, then copper ore, then copper ore, then silver ore, then silver ore. Okay, then I go back into the game again. I like reset. I try save scum, and I'll get silver ore, copper ore, copper ore, silver ore, silver ore. I was like, wait, that's the exact same thing I got last time. What's going on? Okay, mining points are set. Period. Dot. They are set. Like you cannot fix them. All right, but you can exploit them. So this is why. Here's this how you do it. I go into it and I go silver ore, copper ore, copper ore, silver ore. I know the last one's going to be a silver ore, but instead of mining it, I save right in front of it, and then I close the game or I God's Bane depending on where you're at. If you've already beat the dragon, then you can God's Bane. If you haven't beat the dragon, then you need to save the game and quit the menu to restart. And then when you get back to the game, you've got the item that you had, so the last silver ore, but then you've got 4 more possibilities. All right, and now you could be silver ore, copper ore, priceless artifact, silver ore. You know, it can be whatever, but you just need to keep that going. All right, so that's how you take care of that. Yeah, I think that's all she really wrote for how to get priceless artifact. It's just a test of your patience. That's all it really comes down to. But once you have 2 of them, you can upgrade in a lot of money. By the way, I think it's like what was it, 100 and something thousand. So it's hard to upgrade. It starts weak. It's hard to upgrade, and it's expensive to upgrade. 150,000, yeah. But they are bar none the best daggers before fighting the dragon. Period. Dot. No. In the story. If you're not a magic archer, which obviously you use galvanic razors because those are better. But if you're not a magic archer, these are your daggers. That means if you're an assassin, these are your daggers. If you're a strider, these are your daggers. Like this is what peak performance looks like. You should be wanting to get to these. All right, that's about it for that. And that is literally the last thing that can make you strong in this game before fighting the dragon. There are things you can pick up in the Tainted Mountain Temple, but in all real terms, it's just upgrades to your armor set, and this is already the strongest light armor set before the dragon, the strongest proper one. For ranger and for assassin, I will do some save scumming of better sets inside of the Tainted Mountain Temple, but this is already so strong, I don't recommend it because it's kind of a waste of time because you already went out of your way to get such a strong set in the first place. Like, yes, you could get stronger stuff in the Tainted Mountain Temple, but you don't need it by any means. Like, just wait until you get into post game and then go get the Golden Lion set, which is more of a Strider set as well. This is a proper Strider set. It's ugly as sin, but it is a proper Strider set. When we do, the reason I'm going to do upgrades on the Ranger and the Assassin is because the proper Ranger set is really weak. This is a light armor set, by the way. It's really weak, and the proper Assassin set is kind of weak. So I do aim to upgrade those during stage 6 inside the Tainted Mountain Temple. Whereas this being the proper Strider set is actually really strong. Like, so it's good enough. I think we've gone over enough. The only thing I could possibly go over besides what we've already gone over is what? Beating up the Skeleton Knights. Yeah, let's go do that real fast. It's not quite nighttime yet. It's getting close enough. Let's see if we can go do it. By the time we get to Barter Crags and get through Soulflayer Canyon, we should be able to do it. This will be the last thing we do before we say goodbye, and then we do a fighter episode next time, hopefully within the next day or two. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I've been dealing with a lot lately, so I'm just having a hard time keeping up with episodes. And pretty soon I'm going to be taking an entire month off. So, yeah. I'm going to let my channel die for a month. It's going to be no activity. I'm going to lose all my subscribers. Let's go. Yeah, there's still harpies flying around. It's not nighttime yet. When it's like nighttime, you'll see like phantasms. Oh, come on! You're mad annoying. Came out of nowhere. Let's do some work. I'm aggravated. Oh, so for harpies, hint that shot. Stop that. Nice. He won't smoke with me. He won't. You lucky I missed. Say consistently a little to the upper and right. The reason I'm taking my time with this, by the way, is so that it's actually nighttime when I go out the other end. What are you doing? I need to just trust that it's above and to the right a little bit. And I'm still not trusting it enough. That's... There you go. That should hit. There you go. I'm not trusting what I've been experiencing. Alright, I think it's nighttime. Proper. I see like a fog around me. That's that nighttime fog. It's nighttime. But Let me get some speed from Mad Dash. Oh, landed it. Sort of kind of out of stamina here. That's all I got. Mushrooms is what I got. Remember that. Mushrooms is what I got. I might use that day. There we go. I was lacking the stamina and now I'm not. No longer lacking the stamina here. Alright. Go this way. Out around here-ish. Here's our first skeleton knight. Oh, wait, I forgot. I don't have a shield. What am I doing? I'm a strider. Need to act like it. Come on. Make a mistake. Actually, hold up. I got an idea. There you go. Hit him with that mighty bend to break his shield. And he's dead. Then you'd obviously save scum him for a lordly emblem. I'm not going to do it here because that's a waste of your time and my time. And you just kind of roll up here. The other one should have already spawned, like last time. I see him. He's already walking all the way up there. If I can hit him without... Alright. That's so annoying. Oh! Almost caught me slicking. Almost caught me lacking, bro. Almost caught me slacking and lacking. I ain't gonna lie, y'all brave for that. Which is stupid too. And dead. Damn. Nothing for all that? I feel cheated. But alright. That has been Strider, guys. Oh, I didn't say the last and most important thing. So I did mention that you did want to equip the golden bardishes when you actually went to fight the dragon towards the end of his life bar. Make sure that you actually have these equipped. If you equip them after you kill him, it's way too late. You're already in cutscenes anyway, so you won't be able to do it. But you need to have those equipped, and also on top of those, you need to have Griffin Bane. Make sure that gets Dragon Force as well. So the golden bardishes and the Griffin Bane short bow. Get both of those. Get both of those upgraded to Dragon Forged. And yeah, that's all it comes down to. So, any questions, any comments, leave them below. And as always, I've been me, you've been awesome. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.